Well, good morning, fellow patriots and manifestic. A manifestic is a being that can create their own reality from sheer thought, and that's what you're doing right now and don't know it. That's what I plan to show you how to become a whole lot better at, and that's going to be the only way that I believe that we can win this battle against the human emotion run awry. Some will call it the dark side, some will call it the bankers or what have you. It's human emotion. It's inside of each one of us. It's I want more than my fair share. It's not a fair exchange of value. You multiply that out, or you drag that out back to sovereign, where all this problem started way before the Battle of Waterloo. It was human emotion. I want more than my fair share, with the global bankers, and everyone's heard the Rothschild name. Well, coming forward, in order to keep that scam going, that fraud, that inappropriation of all humankind's funds illegally under their little guise of the centralized banking system, we have problems. And it doesn't really make any difference what side of the aisle that you're on. That's all horseshit. What we have to look for is people that are trying to corral us into what you're calling communist, but it's into a one organized manner with one organized central head or organization. They call that the New World Order. Whatever. It's just a bunch of people, fascists, corporate people in their mentality trying to be the number one corporation of the entire world. The big corporation is called the United States of America. It was incorporated in Costa Rica along with the IRS and all of its sidekicks. They are not part of the U.S. government. This will all be revealed in the future. That's what we're all about. The Silent Supporter Society is a group that circulates value internally amongst ourselves. We all throw in $1 or $2 into a pool. We break it down into small little increments of our own internal currency called pennies, P-E-N-E-Es, and someone says something good, someone asks a question, they have a burning question they'd like answers to, like, who in the hell is doing that checkerboard crap in the sky up there? Ask questions, and our members will come back with their best response with links to validate it. And the person who received the answer, along with millions of other people, hopefully, that was an answer for them. If you flip them a penny, that person who answered the question correctly, that got a lot of response, and people said, wow, that's really good stuff, they all flip that person a penny. You can see how, do the math, and even if 10,000 flipped a penny on a Thursday morning at 15 minutes to 11 Eastern Central Time here in the deep piney woods of East Texas. My name is Ramblin' Randy, sorry. 10,000 people flipped a penny. Do the math. That's 1,000 or whatever, $100, whatever they do the math. Shit. 1,000 times a penny, 1/100th of so that'd be $100. That's not a bad lick. 1 million people doing a dime, it's $100,000. Not out of the question. So we can monetize waking up in the morning doing our research. We can monetize if you knit one pearl too, and there's a whole bunch of people that like to knit one pearl too. If you go fishing, put it up on our new website that's going to be launched. And by the way, I'll be getting sign up for this channel here. Notice how many views I've had. I'm doing this shit right now for my own damn self. Soon there's going to be a whole lot. We're fixing to unleash it with Rex Bear of the Leak Project that he has approaching 400,000 members, and we're going to launch with Rex. He has a wide, broad brush of topics he covers. A great teacher as well. But this morning what I want to do is I'm going to show you Nancy Polosi. I'm going to do a little narrating and try to keep this thing under 10-12 minutes so you can get on down the road. But it's very important to understand this. Let's watch Nancy, and I'm going to break in occasionally and do a little narrating. Here we go. Here's Nancy. Let me get it going here.
Let us begin where our founders began in 1776. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bonds which have connected them with another. With those words, our founders courageously began our Declaration of Independence from an oppressive monarch, for among other grievances, the king's refusal to follow rightfully passed laws. In the course of today's events, it becomes necessary for us to address, among other grievances, the President's failure to faithfully execute the law. When crafting the Constitution, the founders feared the return of a monarchy in America. And having just fought a war of independence, they specifically feared the prospect of a king president corrupted by foreign influence. During the Constitutional Convention, James Madison, the architect of the Constitution, warned that a president might...
Well, folks, what they're doing here is that they're mixing what James Madison said. Let me pause her. What old Nancy's doing right there is she's trying to mix what some of the founders, which they're now calling framers instead of founders, strangely enough, they're mixing the message, because that's the same message that we, the factual part of it, can show that the Democrats are not, or Nancy, the majority of them that are in her corner. This has nothing to do with Trump overreaching his bounds. He's within bounds. I mean, it's if you've ever been in court and gone to court and be the defendant or what have you, you can see that they're damn sure within bounds. It's nothing uncommon about what's happening. It's just that they refuse to accept that they've lost on anything, because they're going to make a full court press, and they're working for the socialists. I mean, there's no question about it. None whatsoever. When the truth be known, not too distant future, we'll see that there is a strong China connection here with most of the upper tier Democrats and Republicans. In most cases, they never expected anyone to confront the Federal Reserve and the centralized banking system. It would be impossible to do, you'd think. Trump didn't take any money from anybody, and so he's able to free wheel. He's not bound to any obligations. So let's listen to Nancy, and I'll pop in here again.
He emphasized that this magistrate is not the king. The people are the king. They therefore created a constitutional remedy to protect against a dangerous or corrupt leader: impeachment. Unless the Constitution contained an impeachment provision, one founder warned, a president might, quote, spare no effort or means whatsoever to get himself reelected. Similarly, George Mason insisted that a president who procured his appointment in his first instance through improper and corrupt acts might repeat his guilt and return to power. During the debate over impeachment at the Constitutional Convention, George Mason also asked, "Shall any man be above justice? Shall that man be above it who can commit the most extensive injustice?" In his great wisdom, he knew that injustice committed by the president erodes the rule of law.
The fact that she even uses the term rule of law is twisted within itself. Nancy has been compromised by powers above her. She's one of four families that run California. They're doing everything they possibly can in California to cause the stomachs of all those in the rest of the U.S. to be just throwing up sick over what's going on in California because of these people here. And they're doing it by design. They are doing that by design so that they can export their garbage mind peoples elsewhere in the lower 48 and beyond, so that it will compromise the integrity of what we've built since our freedom from England. Let's listen up to Nancy some more.
Idea that of fair justice, which is the bedrock of our democracy. And if we allow a president to be above the law, we do so surely at the peril of our republic. No one is above the law. Over the past few weeks,
what's happening here with Nancy, every time that they say that, they're actually biting into the apple that's going to poison them. By saying nobody is above the law, they're setting their self up with their own words that in the future, when the guillotine starts to be sharpened for those people who will face the rule of law because of what they've done wrong and the seditious acts that they've done, treasonous in my opinion, they should all be shot. I hate to say that so bluntly, but they have committed treason. Treason. They're doing a coup d'etat against our country. They're trying to take over our governing body while they're part of our governing body, trying to use our rules to try to shade what they're doing. And it's not going to work.
Through the Intelligence Committee working with the Foreign Affairs and Oversight Committees, the American people have heard the testimony of truly patriotic career public servants, distinguished diplomats, and decorated war heroes.
Let's go ahead and talk about that just a tad if we could. The little boy that was the intelligence officer that spoke the other day on one of the hearings was probably the biggest liar that I've ever heard. If you couldn't read his body language and his inflections of his voice, he's been bought off, and he's probably got a little position where he could be the commander of the North Wing or something if he were to, if their side was to win. The rest of the people that they had up there is just a joke in all of the hearings. Yesterday's hearings with the professional or the theologians with the Constitution was a joke. The lady, the LBGYTN XYG lady, she was so pissed off at Trump, she was interviewed on one of these talk shows, and they showed it, that she said that she was walking down the street in New York, saw his Trump Towers up there, walked across the street, she wouldn't even walk in front of the building. Is that biased? I think so. One of the other idiots that looked like somebody out of a guy with curly hair, looks like he's from Cape Cod, a little limp in the wrist, Harvard professor. Now, what we need to do is get rid of professors like that. That's what's screwing up our country. They're teaching this garbage, their slant of their take on the way the world should be to the young lawyers, young politicians coming up. There's where we need to be, is vetting out these damned old professors that are there on tenure. But there are no great war heroes, my white ass. I mean, these people were bought off from Jumpstart. I mean, and had promised with the quid pro quo is what's going on. Let's listen up.
Some of the president's own appointees. The facts are uncontested. The president abused his power.
Oh, God, right there. How can she say with a straight face right there that the facts, which they have no facts, it's all innuendo and hearsay, that there has not been contested. She has lost her damn mind. This lady needs to be pulled. They need to drug test every damn one of them up there.
For his own personal political benefit at the expense of our national security by withholding military aid and crucial Oval Office meeting in exchange for an announcement of an investigation into his political rival. Yesterday, at the Judiciary Committee, the American people heard testimony from leading American constitutional scholars.
Again, that makes me want to stick my whole hand down my throat every time she says to scholars, great scholars, hellfire and brimstone. You could get anybody to say something like olive oil head. Look at that lady, that professor lady. Looks like a head sticking on a big old black tick that you see on a dog. I'm not kidding you. Look at her. Shit. That's their scholars. That's their scholars. We've got thousands of them over here that say, you are a damn idiot. Take the bar again. Your parents must have paid off someone to give you that degree because you're a damn idiot. That's what they need to tell these people. I am not kidding you a bit. Oh, God, am I not kidding you a bit. Here we go.
Who illuminated without a doubt that the president's actions are a profound violation of the public trust. The president's actions have seriously violated the Constitution.
This is bizarre. Listen to this lady.
Especially when he says and acts upon the belief Article 2 says I can do whatever I want. No. His wrongdoing strikes at the very heart of our Constitution, a separation of powers, 3 co-equal branches.
Get it straight, Nancy. You just had the own answer for your own damn question. It's 3 separate parts of our government, and they do have preferential treatments for each, and we have it written down. He's not broken anything of the Trinity up there, you moron.
Each a check and balance on the other. A republic, if we can keep it, said Benjamin Franklin. Our democracy is what is at stake. The president leaves us no choice but to act, because he is trying to corrupt, once again, the election for his own benefit. The president has engaged in abuse of power, undermining our national security and jeopardizing the integrity of our elections.
Let me tell you something. Being in the oil business, if someone was to have come into my drilling company back in the day and said that they want a job, I'd say, what kind of experience? I hadn't got any experience. Well, how long you been out in the field? Just doing, hadn't got any. Well, can you speak the language? We're going to be going over to, let's see here, Ukraine to do some drilling. Can you speak Ukrainian? No, can't. Well, I want $83,000 a month too for my services. What services do you provide? I don't really know. That's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. And they're throwing this off on Trump for what Biden did. Trump went over there. What he's looking for is there's crimes being committed on our citizens, against our citizens, stealing our value, our money. It just so happens that the perp for this crime happens to be running for president and has been doing this not only to Ukraine, but Romania, all over the damn country, world. This Biden team has been going around milking people. Kerry's kids, relatives are in there too. John Kerry, whole shitload of them are nested up in that Ukraine deal. There's going to be a hell of a lot of fur flying when this thing finally comes out. Let's listen to the rest of Nancy here. I'm going to hurry.
His actions are in defiance of the vision of our founders and the oath of office that he takes to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Sadly, but with confidence and humility, with allegiance to our founders and a heart full of love for America, today I am asking our chairman to proceed with articles of impeachment.
Let me tell you, Nancy has got to do this. She's got them Muslim people over there in her world. And plus, she has been greased for years by the fascists to be able to pull this thing off. When Hillary, who probably will run, can you believe that? And then they're going to get their ass busted midstream. And what they're going to do is they're going to say, that's retaliation because he's trying to take over our country. He's trying to take over our country. He's against all that is good. He's evil. Let's let her wrap it up and then I'll get out of here.
I commend our committee chairs and our members for their somber approach to actions which I wish the president had not made necessary. In signing the Declaration of Independence, our founders invoked a firm reliance on divine providence. Democrats, too, are prayerful.
Very prayerful.
Worthy of our oath of office to support and defend the Constitution of the United States from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
You're Nancy. We finished up, Nancy. Listen, y'all go out there and create yourself a wonder-filled day. It is by choice. Remember this, once a person who has been honestly mistaken all of their life learns the truth, they can either cease to be mistaken, start speaking the real truth, or they can cease to be honest. What say you? And I'll say this to you right now. If you're looking to make money, a whole bunch of it, I'll show you how to get there, but you got to help me save this country. Is that a good, fair exchange of value? I think so. Click the little deal down there for subscribe. I'll be bringing this out to you. All you got to do is tell other people to listen to me and tell me what you did today. If you went fishing, did a little research, found out a little something about vaccines, found out a little something about this, that, and the other, let us know. It's of value to us, and we might just tip you a big time and make your day, dog. This is Red Eye. We down.